Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, and welcome back to more of the Bomberman 64 playthrough. We've now officially beaten the game, but we haven't completed the game. Because after getting 100 gold cards and finishing the final battle at the Black Fortress, we've now unlocked a secret world and the true ending of the game. It seems like Sirius, who seemed to be our friend at the beginning of this game, is actually our foe. And he was just trying to get back a very important weapon of his that was taken away by Altair and his group. So, now that Sirius has his power back, we need to find a way to stop Sirius. And we have to go to the Rainbow Palace to do this. Now, here's the thing about Rainbow Palace, and I'll go ahead and say it right now. This video and the next video will be done in post-commentary because this world is absolutely brutal. You know, some people may say like getting all the gold cards and just the main part of the game is quite the chore. My God, just completing these levels is an absolute nightmare. As you can see, you're completely above like a bottomless pit. If we fall off the sides, you're gone. You lose a life, you lose all your lives, you get a game over. You know how that works. But, in addition to that, if you want to get all the gold cards in these levels, my God, you have to do some really insane and asinine platforming. And I'm gonna definitely try to walk you guys through this process because this was the first time I've ever dealt with these levels, and they nearly broke me. And not in a humorous way. Trust me, I'm doing you guys a favor by doing this post-commentary because I was just a complete mess of what to do and how to go about doing this. I did ultimately get it done, but it definitely took quite a bit of time and quite a bit of patience to do this. But, as usual, this being a normal exploration level, in addition to just beating the normal objective, we have to also find 5 gold cards, 3 of which are hidden throughout the level. One is for defeating 30 enemies, and another one is for beating the time trial, which, as you can see, we've already failed the time trial. Even the time trial is absolutely ridiculous, but I'll, again, get to that later. And then, in addition to the gold cards, we'll also look for the custom bomber pieces, which I believe that was one of them right there. So there's one just kind of hidden, like, on the left side of this room. And this room is very important because this room will have the remote bombs, which you'll definitely need to utilize, not just for platforming for the gold cards, but also just for getting through this level too. And plus it makes getting rid of a lot of these enemies more efficient as well, so definitely utilize that to your advantage. So as you can see, there's a block across this little pit right here. Obviously, you kind of know how this is going to probably end up. We're going to need to use a bomb bridge. And I'll say it right now, while I do think the bomb bridge is a very interesting mechanic, in fact, I actually do like that they give you the remote bombs so early in this level so you can experiment with it. But I kind of almost wish that, like, this was the true introduction to the bomb bridge, because I feel like that could have been a more valuable introduction as opposed to the first level of the game where you just kind of had to stumble across it if you wanted to, you know, get all the gold cards and everything. But right here, as you can see, you have to do kind of a tricky maneuver to blow up this pillar. One thing you could do is if your firepower is big enough, you can actually have like the bomb closest to you explode, and if you run into the block or the pillar you're trying to explode, you can actually grab the card before you get exploded and also dodge the bomb blast too. It's kind of interesting how that works, but it is something you can do. But yeah, if the bomb bridge ever doesn't work for whatever reason, you can also do what I did right there to get out. You can also use the bomb knock-up strategy where you just, you know, hit yourself with a bomb, you knock yourself backwards, and then you can bounce up the walls. I don't know the exact process for getting that to work. It does seem like it's kind of finicky sometimes. Like, you would think you could actually do that for this section right here to get to the middle raised platform. But I tried so many times and just could not do it in that fashion. So there's got to be like a better way to utilize, you know, doing that whole maneuver. But, you know, I couldn't tell you the best way to do it myself. But yeah, now that we have those, that other room that we just came out of, we finished getting everything in there. Everything else will be in this room right here, including the ending and the way you access the ending. And one thing I do recommend is get rid of all the enemies whenever you can. Especially the flying enemies, because the flying enemies will really get in your way during this next part. Like, you could quite literally be making a bomb bridge and they could just be flying around, and if they shoot their lasers down at you, not only could they kill you, but they can also blow up your bombs too. So get rid of the flying guys, even if it means you have to start over. It just makes more sense to do that. But yeah, what we need to do is we need to get to the giant switch in the middle of this room. So we'll need to use kind of a combination of bomb bridges, bomb staircases. We may need to even use a bomb to knock ourselves out as well. It's again very finicky. You'll see basically the process I use to do this quickly when we get to the time trial for this. But ultimately, you know, you want to do something like this. And even then, sometimes it may not work, and sometimes something may work that you don't expect to work. Like right here, I kind of like threw a bomb down there, which honestly didn't hinder me that much. And then I did this again where I could pick up this bomb and throw it again. And I kind of had a bit of a staircase here, so I just went ahead and utilized that. Got up here, and then, well, now I need to figure out how to get that switch. So I laid a bomb there, tried to jump back up. Found out that this wasn't quite high enough. And I was pressing forward on the control stick. Sometimes you can do that to kind of finagle your way up to a switch like this, but it was just short of me being able to do that here. So what I did instead was I decided to make a giant pumped up bomb, because that'll give me a little bit more height. And then I just have to go back over here to this side, jump up the staircase again, and there we go. And that's actually the end of the level right there. But there are things we need to do before we end the level. And we still have 2 gold cards and another custom part to collect. So while you're still up here on this A platform, or the switch platform, you may notice that you have these other purple platforms kind of leading back to the starting area, and then also just a lot of platforms on the sides. And if you haven't figured it out by now, yes, if you want to get the other 2 gold cards, you have to navigate around the sides of this area, and to do that, you'll have to make a lot of bomb bridges, do a lot of bomb jumps, some staircases you'll have to make too. This is absolutely insane. And on one hand, I really give kudos to the developers for coming up with this, because this is a really clever way to utilize the mechanics of this game. And I was really impressed with, you know, the amount of thought that goes into completing this puzzle. But damn, is it unforgiving. It is so freaking unforgiving, and for that alone, I can't condone this. I really did not have fun figuring this out or even doing this. Like, even stuff like this jump right here, I swear that only worked half the time. Sometimes I would go there, try to land on the bombs, but then I'd just get like stuck in between the 3rd and 2nd one, and then bounce back down, so I had to go all the way back around again to, you know, get all the way back here, and it was just really annoying. And the problem with like doing these bomb ladders, bomb staircases, bomb bridges, whatever, and it could be a problem with my controller, but sometimes I feel like sometimes it just doesn't work, or sometimes Bomberman just jerks himself in a different direction. And if that happens, well, you either have to redo the whole thing again, or you die and have to get the remote bombs again and then do everything again. It's, you know, it's just a lot of, like, very, very strict, like, not so much platforming, but just a lot of strict setting up for something that really only feels like it works half the time on average. And, like, I'm sure a very, like, you know, experienced player of this game could watch me play this and be like, oh, well, there's the reason why that didn't work, is because you had, like, your bombs, like, not appropriately distanced, or, you know, you didn't hold the stick in the right direction at a certain point. And I get that, like, it could be a lot of fault on my end, but just the fact that, like, you know, you do need to get, like, that amount of accuracy to make, like, these kinds of jumps is definitely really annoying, and definitely something I did not enjoy about playing this level. It just made this level really, really, really hard to complete, and I just didn't really have a lot of fun with this. This is honestly, like, this world alone is getting me, like, almost kind of, like, not wanting to do a hard mode playthrough, because here's the thing, like, doing hard mode won't really make these sections harder, but just the fact that I'd have to do them again, I don't want to do this again. And I assume that you're gonna have to do this kind of stuff again to get all the gold cards and custom pieces and everything, and it's just like, I don't want to do that again. I did everything now, you know, on some level, you know, I'm satisfied with, you know, being able to say that I've done this, and I just don't feel like doing it on hard mode is going to give me any, like, any extra bragging rights. It just means, oh my god, I suffered through this again. But I don't know, I haven't 100% decided, and, like, I already technically have played a bit of hard mode, so I know where, like, some of the stuff is for, like, you know, the early game levels. It's just when I get back to this part again, it's just like, do I want to put myself through this again? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've technically unlocked, like, all the content of this game, so I could show off to you guys. I don't think, and I really don't think hard mode really gives that much extra to the pool. But we'll see. We'll see. And see, right here, I don't know what happened there, but, like, I swear, like, I was pressing forward on my control stick, and then all of a sudden, like, I just started turning, like, diagonally left, which caused me to die and caused me to restart this whole thing. But in the process of making my way back to that place, I did get the 30 enemy kills, so I went ahead and showed that off. And then I made it back here, so we could try to finish this up. And keep in mind, I only have 2 lives left. And if it gets to a point where, like, I feel like I only have, like, if I don't have any more extra lives, I may just finish the level, cut my losses with what I have collected. That way I don't have to worry about collecting it again. And then just try to beat the level normally. And then just, you know, kind of take it from there. I'm also really glad that bomb fell down the pit right there and not on the platform. I could have probably avoided getting exploded by it, but again, it's hard to tell. You have, like, very little room to walk on these platforms. But yeah, we're still trying to make progress here. We got, like, looks like 2 more jumps to really make. Just gotta make it across this little gap and then the next gap, and we should be good. So we're gonna have that blow up. We're gonna also do this. Then we're gonna bounce on over here, and this will be our 2nd gold card. And I hope you guys enjoyed that process, because we have to do basically the same thing again. They're not the same exact platforms on the right side. There'll be, like, slight differences with, like, the bridges we're making, but still, the same idea. We're basically navigating across this bottomless pit while also bomb jumping. So, you know, good times, good times. But yeah, as a kid, I never really got to play these levels properly. I think I did get to experience a little bit of this level, but like, I didn't think much of it. I didn't even think you could beat it. I thought it was just like a place you could chill or whatever. Because here's the thing, when I was younger, I had like, there was someone who, I think babysat for me one time, or was just watching me while my parents were out. And the babysitter had a Game Shark for the N64. And he allowed me to kind of like, you know, experiment like with the Game Shark with some of the games I had. You know, I did it for GoldenEye so I could unlock all the levels and all the cheats very easily. And I think I did it for this game too, where I like basically just had, like got every gold card in the game and then actually beat the game so I could actually see these levels, which I thought was really interesting, but I don't think I ever actually beat those levels since you actually had to kind of try to, you know, actually get through these. So I was familiar with like the general like look of this area and also the music. The music is beautiful, by the way. Really, really love the music track for this area. But yeah, beating this place, there's no way in hell I would have been able to do that. I needed to gain way more wisdom and figure out way more things in order to do that. But hey, here we are now. So as you can see, we're now going to the right. You know, we spent all that time getting the gold card on the left. Now we have to get the one on the right. And as you can see, there are slightly different platforms we have to move across. Need to move across over here. And see, like, I always try to explode all the bombs just so I have the most bombs I can work with. I probably could have kept that bomb on screen a little longer, but, it's not a big deal. And see, this is, like, really annoying. Like, I hate these flying enemies. The flying enemies are the bane of my existence in this level. Because there was, like, as you can see, like, my timer right now, I'm, like, 242,000 points of time have passed. It looks like every 100 is like 1 second or something. God, I don't even really feel like doing the math right now, but the point is, I spent a lot of time doing these levels. In fact, the recording sessions alone for just this world, they had to have been like 5 hours in length. And that's another reason where it's like, I have to do this post-commentary. I'm not going to sit through all of that again, you know, cherry pick all the different parts. I'm just going to do what I can just to, you know, get what I need, showcase all the gold cards and everything, and then just be done with it. So, hope you guys understand. But this is the last part of this gold card. So we're about done. And yay, I died. See, like, you could just easily get screwed over in that fashion. So after that happened, I decided, well, I'm down to my last life. I'm not going to go all the way across that course again. I'm just going to go ahead and cut my losses. Try to finish the level. We finished it. There is one more thing over there. That is where the other custom part is, but we'll get that later. I just wanted to finish up what I had for right now, and then we'll get the other collectibles here in a little bit. But yeah, we are going to go back to stage 1 because we still have things to get. I'm going to go ahead and try to get this gold card again. See, I don't really know what I did different here. Like, this looks like the same exact thing I did. Maybe the bombs are just slightly placed in a different manner, but still, like, still really, really finicky, and I really don't like that they force you to do that. But yeah, there's a gold card, and as you can see, like I said before, there is a custom part here. You see, I tried to actually blow this up so I could get the gold card in the costume part, and then take a death so I didn't have to do this next section. But obviously that didn't really work for me, so as a result, I ended up having to do something slightly different. But here's how you get that costume piece normally. You have to kind of, you know, build 2 bombs like this, and then bounce one over there like that, bounce up here, and then bounce over here to that platform as well. And again, that's finicky. There's times where, like, I bounced on the 2 bombs and I'd either bounce backwards or I wouldn't bounce high enough to get, like, onto this platform, and I would just die as a result. So it's like, you kind of just have to, like, just keep trying until you get a system that works. But eventually it did work, so thank God for that. So now, what I have to do is I need to actually get this gold card, or this costume piece, sorry. So I'm just kind of looking for the right way to line myself up. Bounce over here. And see, right there, I kind of talked about that earlier, but like, as you can see, I had the bomb explode, but I kept moving into the block in hopes that the bomb would actually destroy the block early. And then that way I could avoid the bomb blast while still getting the collectible and then not taking a death as a result. But yeah, as you can see, we also need to, you know, get back. And there we go. But there's one more thing I need to showcase with this level, and that is the time trial. And I was actually pretty proud of this one, because this actually kind of happened, like, I actually got this before I got the costume piece that I just showed you guys. And see, I was basically doing something where I'd be essentially just trying to do this first part as fast as I could. And then if I ever got to a point where it's like, oh hey, I might actually do the time trial, I'd just go for the time trial instead. And that's kind of what happened in this session right here, because keep in mind, in order to do the time trial, in addition to, you know, just getting the remote bombs, you also need to go through this middle section again. And you also have to do it while also taking care of these, like, dumb enemies, too. But the setup that I'm about to show right here, this is a setup that actually ended up working pretty well for me. Basically, try to get a big bomb in the middle part of that, and then just bounce up here. And then throw another big bomb at the wall. Or, well, I threw it back, but... throw it against the wall right here. You'll bounce up, and then you'll bounce back up on the switch. And yeah, that's a way you can do that part really, really quickly. And then all you have to do now is just, you know, get to the goal. Now, try to calm your nerves right here. I definitely had that problem where it's just like, I want to get this before the enemies notice me. And sometimes you might just need to, like, take care of the enemies just to, you know, make sure you're not, you know, having to deal with them while you're trying to make this one last jump. But I did what I could. And there we go, that should do it, and there's the time trial. Okay, all the gold cards and all the costume pieces collected. Let's move on to the mini-boss stage. This boss is really, really interesting, and honestly, I actually kind of like this fight.
Welcome.
It can be really annoying to get all the gold cards, though, so I'm going to show one run where I just beat the boss, then I'm going to show a run where I actually get all the gold cards. Since, if you want to get all the gold cards, you have to do it in one run anyway. You also get, like, one gold card just for starting the fight, but there is a little nuance with that gold card that I'll talk about later. But yeah, the idea of this fight is you don't actually have remote bombs, which normally you do for these fights. But you have to deal without remote bombs this time. And this sorcerer, in addition to having a variety of attacks that he can give to you, he's also very, very jumpy. So if you come at him or throw a bomb at him, he will actually run away pretty quickly. But you can make it so you can, like, you know, push him away from where you're going. You could approach him, watch where he jumps, and try to throw a bomb over there. Or you could throw a bomb in one direction and try to push him over there by making him jump into the explosion. There's a number of ways you can do this, and not only that, there are actually ways you can get power-ups and even remote bombs in this fight. But again, once again, there is a caveat with that I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, this part right here, that is actually another place where you can get a gold card. You have to, like, hit him in the head or with a big bomb explosion. And you also have to burn his cape, too. And it can be really hard to get both of those. But I think if you, like, just blow up his head, like, you will also get the cape, too. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things where, like, it can be kind of tricky to do. But once you do, you should secure both gold cards, at the very least. And then there's another gold card where you have to get by blowing up that shadow hand that he sends at you sometimes. But again, you'll see me getting all the gold cards later. But while you're doing this, just try to do your best to get as many power-ups and things as you want. And notice how once I grabbed the power-up right there, I actually lost the gold card that I had before. So the game intends for you to actually not get any power-ups. However, there is something you can do. Essentially, you can actually grab a heart from the fight. You can win the fight, and then you can have the heart in your next attempt while you still get the gold card from starting the fight. So you can actually salvage the heart for a future run, which I think it's still worth collecting that because, again, there are a lot of different ways you can get hit in this fight. It can be just kind of a chaotic mess at times anyway. But if you want to get all the gold cards, you absolutely cannot use remote bombs, so keep that in mind. So as you can see, I only got 2 gold cards, which is the one we got for blowing up the cape, and then, of course, the time trial. But here's the run where I'm actually going to get all the gold cards. So what I do here is, the first thing I do is I wait for him to use this hand attack. And you'll know he's using the hand attack when he brings out the card that, you know, showcases that attack. And all you gotta do is just lay a bomb and then move back. And then when his hand comes to get you, the bomb should explode on the hand. So it's really not that hard to get that gold card. So like this, there you go. Got it. See, not really that hard. Aside from that, for all other attacks, you just kind of want to stay away from him. Just stay at a distance. If he's like throwing cards, run away from the cards. If he's shooting these stars, run away from the stars. If he's using his fist attack, obviously dodge the fists. It's really that simple. But yeah, it's a really cool fight though. Like, all things considered, like, you know, I love how there's like a bunch of different attacks, which is really cool. So yeah, right there, as you can see, I actually got really lucky that, like, I had a bomb laid and then he actually moved when I tried to approach him, and he ran right into the explosion. That allowed me to not only hit his head with the explosion, but I also burned his cape, and all I have to do at this point is just finish the fight. And, you know, like I said, there are strategies where you can do that. Basically, wait for him to jump, then throw a bomb in that direction, or just, again, throw a bomb in a direction and try to get him to move over there. That's really all you have to do. But yeah, that's going to do it for the mid-boss fight. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for the final 2